Hello everyone, it's Jen, Scrapbena Creations. Today I'm sharing 12 cards with the new release from Honeybee Stamps. So I'm going to be featuring the Love Letters 6x6 paper pad, but I did want to show you what else I picked up. So this was the freebie stamp. It's the Be Young Love, and I got the stamp and the coordinating die, so I'll be using those today. I got the Friend Honey Cuts. I love these for large sentiments. The A2 size card, Scallop frames, and then I did a card recently featuring the Big Pickup Tailgate and the Loads of Love stamp sets. Love those. And then this stamp I absolutely fell in love with, called Gal Pals, and I use it on a couple of the cards today. So I did color up all the images just watching TV and relaxing, so I'll have those all colored up before creating the cards, but I wanted to show you the Love Letters 6x6 paper pad, which I'm featuring in today's video, and I also picked up the matching gem sticker. So here's a quick look at all of the beautiful patterned papers that come in this kit. So, not kit, in the paper pad. So it has reds and pinks and yellows and orange, and then it has lots of white and black, and then some of this kind of burgundy maroon color thrown in. So let's jump into the first set of cards. So I'm creating 2 cards of each design. I'll show you just putting together one of the cards for each of the designs. So for this one, I'm using the red pattern paper as my background. So that's cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So a standard A2 size card. I used a piece of the pink pattern paper there as a strip across that bottom 1/3, and then used a stitched oval to cut out a piece of the pink pattern paper. And here's my little Be Young Love, the first one that I colored up. I did color up all my images with my Copic markers, and then used a sentiment from the Gal Pals, To My Bestie, and one of the little butterflies here to add a little bit of detail to that sentiment and just fill in that heart a little bit. And then to finish off, I'm using one of the gemstones in the center of the flower on her outfit, and then some glitter here for the bee wings, which is really cute. So I'm going to show you a close-up here of both of the cards. I did color up different skin tones for all my cards today. So here's a close-up look at the second set of cards. So cards 3 and 4. So I'm using that same stamp set. And this one I cut down the pattern paper to 4 and 5 1/4. So I'm going to have a white border on this one. And then cut a piece of that black and white heart paper to go down the center of my focal panel here with that really pretty pink pattern paper that has X's and O's on it. I did use a stitched what is this one called? The Stitched Arch. This is a die by Sunny Studio. So I cut that out of some cardstock and used some Distress Oxide in Tumbled glass for the sky, and then Shabby Shutters and Mowed Lawn for the grass. I'm using my Heffy Doodle Swirly clouds here just to add some clouds around that arch, I think it's called, die cut piece here. And I really like using those 3 clouds just to kind of continue the scene off of that focal panel. And then I'm going to place my little bee girl here on the center of that and add that 3rd cloud. So the 2 that I adhered down first are underneath that stitched arch, and then that 3rd one is behind the bee on top of that focal panel. I did pop her up on some foam tape, and for this one I'm using the sentiment Be Mine that came with the stamp set. The other one I did for this, I used the sentiment Be Happy. So for a lot of these cards I tried to show one that could be Valentine's related, but then also I wanted to feature the versatility of the stamp sets and show one that wasn't Valentine related. So look how cute that is. I'm going to snug the sentiment here to the bottom right hand by her foot there and the edge of her dress, and just kind of hanging off that focal panel. I'm just adding a little bit of cardstock here just to make sure it's level on those areas that are coming off of the focal panel. So there's no dips here. It's nice and level. And then I added a few of the little bees that come in the stamp set. They're really cute. And a butterfly up by her hand. And again, for the gemstones, I'm going to add one in the center of the flower on her dress. So for some final touches on these two cards, I'm using my black glaze pen here for their eyes and then the buttons on their dresses, and that just gives a little bit of a raised effect and brings out their eyes and those buttons quite a bit. And then again, adding some shimmer with my glitter pen here to the wings, and decided as well to add it to the little bee wings. So here's both of those cards complete. I'm just going to show you them both together. And then we can move on to the next set of cards. So the next set of cards feature the Gal Pal stamp set. I absolutely adore this stamp set. Like I said, you can color up the two friends here in different skin tones, give them different color of clothing to kind of fit whatever card it is you're creating. So for this first one, I'm using the plaid pattern paper as my background. I did cut that out with the scalloped border dies, which I absolutely love. I was looking for a good set of those borders with the scalloped edges, and so I was really happy to see that Honeybee had those. Now I did fussy cut around these images. They do have the coordinating dies available, but you can see there I went ahead and cut out that white area in between the two of them, and I just snipped the bottom. Because my sentiment is going to go over top of that, you're not going to know that I cut through the bottom of that image. And then I can go ahead and place my sentiment. So for this one, it says, "You're my forever galentine." So this is kind of more the Valentine related one. And then the second card that I did, I used the sentiment, "Best Babe Forever." And again, just fussy cutting around those sentiments. And to finish off, I'm just adding some of those gemstones. So just picking that up with my craft pick. Kind of the easiest way I could get those off the release paper and onto the card, and then just adding one simple highlight line with my white gel pen on the t-shirt to the girl on the right hand side. So there's a look at both of those cards. For the next set of cards, I pulled out some of my little bears from my Heffy Doodle stamp set called Beary Big Heart, and I colored up those little bears in two different colors of brown. So this one that I'm showing you will be a little bit of a darker color, and then I do more of a honey color for the second set of bears. So for this one, I'm using the black and white hearts, and then cut a piece of the pink pattern paper for a bit of interest around my stitched semicircle. So this is also a set of dies from Sunny Studio, which I use quite a bit. I love them, and just cut that out of some white cardstock. And then with some of the darker pink pattern paper, I used my Lawn Fawn scalloped edges there, or border dies, just to give a little bit of added interest. And you can see throughout the cards, I'm just adding some scrap cardstock or pattern paper just to make sure those various elements are nice and level. So I decided for the heart for my bear that I was going to paper piece with some of the pattern paper from the 6x6 paper pad, and I chose the heart to match that strip or the border of that pattern paper going behind the focal panel here. And I'm just showing you the stamp set that I'm using because I forgot to do that at the beginning of these set of cards. And then I'll also use a sentiment for the next set of cards from this stamp set as well. The My Valentine that I'm using on this card is actually from the Be Young Love, and I think that's really cute underneath them, and it just kind of grounds them and gives them something to sort of stand on and not make it like they're floating. So that one bear that I have in front of the heart, I just wanted to add a little bit of cardstock again so he'd be level. And there's the compilation for that set of cards. I'm just going to get that in place. I'll show you the other one. I used the fun lip or kiss pattern paper there for the second one, and you can see that's more of a honey color for those bears, and I was just showing you there that that red panel is actually from the pattern paper. So we're already on to cards 9 and 10. Again, I'm going to use one of the bears from the Heffy Doodle stamp set. So I had fun playing with the pattern paper and the stamps from the honeybee collection, but I also just kind of grabbed stamp sets that I had in my stash that I thought would go nicely with my card designs. So I'm going to use the orange colored pattern papers. It's really pretty floral, and then a polka dot pattern for that bottom piece of my card design. Just have to trim up that one side. I didn't quite get it trimmed properly. And so I used a scallop border die. This is really pretty. This is from a set of borders from Pink Fresh Studio. And it's almost like a flower pattern. So I thought it went really well with that flower pattern paper. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment here. I'm using my mini Misty. I'm going to stamp this right on the pattern paper, and it says, "You have a very big heart." And I'm going to use the Friend Honey Cuts here, the word die, for this card. So there's 3 different dies in the die set, and you can use them in combination with each other, or you can use just the single one at the top there if you want a nice thin sentiment on your card. But I'm going to layer these up. So the bottom one I cut out of white cardstock, and then the other 2 layers are from the pattern paper in the paper pad. I'm just going to make sure to dot my I there. I just have it placed in my little tray, and I'll bring that out here in a second. Just adding some glue. And just so I don't lose it, I always keep those pieces in my trays. But I love the bubble letters of the word dies from Honeybee. So I'm going to position that over the sentiment that I stamped. And then I'm going to have the little sitting bear to the right-hand side. So the sentiment, when complete, reads, "Friend, you have a very big heart." And then I have this cute little bear to the right-hand side, and I'm going to add one of the butterflies from the Be Young Love stamp set, just kind of up by his nose. I think it kind of looks like he's looking upward, so I thought it would be cute to make it look like he's watching that little butterfly fly away. So this wasn't planned, but I kind of looked at this and I thought the gemstones would look really pretty in the center of those die cut flowers. So I'm just showing you here the 2 cards. They're practically the same, showing you one with the gems on the border and then one without. I did end up adding gems to that second card. You'll see when I slow down and show you all the cards that I have that in place. So moving on to cards 11 and 12, I really loved this pattern paper with all of the envelopes on it with the little hearts. And so I wanted to feature that on one of the cards. So I cut that down with one of the smaller scalloped frames, and then I'm using some of the pattern paper to go on the back of that. So the pattern paper is a full A2 size panel, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut this scallop panel down quite a bit smaller. I wanted a bit of a larger frame behind this panel so you could really see the colors in the beautiful pattern paper. And then I'm bringing in my Honeybee Stamps Hello Honey Cuts. So that's also a 3-layer die cut set. I'm only using 2 for this particular card. And I'm going to go ahead and color in the hearts. So I used my Ohuhu markers for this. I'm just using the R5. I decided to go for a red just so that those hearts would really pop on the pattern paper. For the other card, I used the orange kind of ombre pattern paper, and I used more of a saturated yellowy orange color for that one. You'll see that here in just a second. So I'm just going to get these all colored up, and I like how they pop off of that white and black. And then I can add my sentiments. So I'm using secondary sentiment, Sending Happy Mail, and this is from the Heffy Doodle More Classic Sentiment stamp set, and I'll show you the stamp set and the dies here at the end. just so you can see what they look like. But of course, all the links to the products will be down below in case you want to see anything up close or to know where you can purchase these items should you be interested. And they are affiliate links, which means if you choose to purchase after clicking on those links, I will receive a small commission at no extra cost to you, and it just helps with creating content for my channel. So thank you. If you choose to click on those links, it's much appreciated. So here's a look at both of those cards, and I really like how they turned out. I decided to use the hello in black on that orange one. I thought it popped a little bit more with that orange and yellow, and then the white on top of the pattern paper for the hello for my pink card. So now that I have the cards complete, I am just going to slow down here. I'm going to show you the pattern paper that I have left. So I think I had tongue twister here. I had 4 full sheets of the pattern paper and then a bunch of little strips. I also created a card with a piece of the pattern paper for a collaboration between Honeybee Stamps and Heffy Doodle, and I have a full process video for that, so I will link to that at the end of the video in case you missed it and are interested in seeing it. So in total, I got 13 cards with the 6x6 paper pad. If you had a favorite, I would love to know which one was indeed your favorite. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. Take care, everybody. Thank you for spending some of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. Bye.